Hi friends, and welcome to day 1 of lesson 10, solving multi-step word problems. So today we are going to be doing pages 193 and 194 together, and then on your own you'll be doing workbook page 196, and then if you finish early and you've already showed me either on Seesaw or on Google Meet, you'll be working on getting a green light on Reflex. So this entire lesson, we're going to have multi-step word problems. So that means you're going to have more than one thing to do to get to our answer. So we're going to start on page 193. So on the test, Lola scores 6 points on each of the first 3 questions and 4 points on each of the other 2 questions. How many points does Lola score on all 5? I circled that terribly. Sorry, friends. So for this one, I believe it is best to make a table, okay, just so we can see how it all works together. So we're going to have the question on the top, and then we are going to have the score on the bottom. So question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, and question 5. Now, question 1, she got 6 points. Question 2, she also got 6 points, and also for question 3, because it says in the problem, scores 6 points on each of the first 3 questions, okay? And then 4 points on each of the other 2 questions. So that's meaning on question 4, she got 4 points, and on question 5, she got 4 points. So then we would have to go and add all of these together. So we could do 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 4 plus 4. Could also have done 6 times 3 and 4 times 2, okay? Either way. And if we add all those together, or we do our multiplication facts and then add them together, we get 26 points. Okay? So again, it's easy with these to make a table, just like we did with the number and shape patterns, because it makes it easier to keep our numbers organized. Now, this is way number 1. There is another way to do this without a table, and it's just pulling out the multiplication facts. So for example, Lola scores 6 points on the first 3 questions. So we would solve 6 times 3, which is 18. And then she scores 4 points on the next 2 questions, so on questions 4 and 5. So 4 times 2, and we know that gives us 8. But then we aren't done, because we need to find out how many she scored on all 5. So that means we have to add 18 plus 8, and again that gives us the 26 points. So we can say Lola, scored 26 points. Because remember, we always need our sentence explaining our answer. Now, again, these are just 2 separate ways. This is one way to help keep us organized, or if you want to skip the table and just go right into the multiplication facts, that is another way to do it, okay? Now, if you have any questions, feel free to join the meet and ask. If you want to go over it together, I'd be more than happy to. But if you are ready to go and have this all written in your workbook, we can move on to 194. So, number 1 on page 194 says, explain how you found the number of points Lola scored on all 5 questions. So all we're doing is doing what we did here, but putting it into words. So we can say, I found Lola's points on the first 3 questions then the next two, and added the two products together. So that would mean I was adding the 18 plus the 8 and getting 26 points. So again, it's just doing what we did on 193, but putting it into word form, okay? Now, for looking ahead, it's just showing us two different ways to go about solving this problem, kind of ways to think about it in a different way. So it says you can use a bar model, look what's back, bar model, to model the problem. Complete the bar model below to show the points Lola scored on all 5 questions. So just like the table we filled out in the front, with the first 3 questions, we got 6 points for each of those. Lola rocked it. But then on the last 2, she got 4. So then we see how they're labeled. So these last 2 are right here. And then the first 3 are over here on this side. And the P is equal to the total, I'm going to say number sign of points. So that's what the P stands for here. Now, that's one way to model it. You can also model it like we did with the multiplication. So on the first 3 questions, she got 6 points. So we can say 6 points on the 3 questions. Plus, you can't forget, this is important. This is what makes it a multi-step problem, okay? We need to add our 2 products together. So we have 6 times 3 because we had 6 3 times, and then we have 4 2 times because on the next 2 she scored 4 points. And that is again equal to the total number of points, okay? So how many points does Lola score in all? We already figured that out. It is 26 points, okay? So I want you to first make sure you have all this written. So if you need to pause here, pause here. And then I want you to think about it. You can model problems in different ways. That we have the bar model in the problem 2A, or we have the equation way in 2B. I want you to tell me what different equation could you write to represent this problem. So if we think about it, all we have to do is take the equation that we worked on already and then put that together with the table we made in the beginning with the adding. So I'm going to show you a way to do that. So a different equation we could do was keep the 6 times 3 and keep that in parentheses. So we do that first. And then we could add 4 plus 4 instead of doing 4 times 2, because remember, 4 times 2 is equal to 4 plus 4, because what's 4 times 2? 8. What's 4 plus 4? 8. So they're equal, right? So we could do 6 times 3 plus 4 plus 4. I want you in the Google Meet to tell me the opposite of this. So how could I make this part an addition sentence and this part a multiplication? Okay? So I want you to tell me, and then you can move on to page 196 on your own. Again, friends, let me know if you have any questions. I'm here to help, and happy math.